All right. So we're starting this episode. First, I want to start with thanking everyone that's been in the podcast. Like now, Dylan, he's been here before a few times, and now we have Jay. And also, I want to thank all the musicians that have supported me throughout what happened to me last Friday. As you all know, a half of my gear was stolen from me as I was walking with my trolley. I was getting to the bus station, the bus stop, and well, I lost a huge bag of a lot of gear, and everybody knows already. And it was a huge hit for me because I worked so many years to get all the gear, and you know, when you get gear, it's like it becomes your sound, you know. But anyways, it made me realize that it's only material stuff. I'm not gonna get it back. I'm sure about that. But it made me realize how lucky I am to be in this community and being supported by all of you, and I have really good friends because of that, and that's more important than material stuff that someday I will get back. So that's the last time I want to speak about that situation. So now we are going to introduce
situation?
What situation that I got robbed. Yeah.
He's not a good listener.
So we're gonna start now with Jay. Jay is here with us for the first time. Might as well introduce yourself instead of me talking about you. You know.
I'm Jay. James Burnell. It's me.
A few more details would go a long
That'd be
way.
great.
What you want to know?
What do you do?
What do you do?
Okay. I'm a musician. I play songs. I play in pubs. I write songs. I haven't released songs yet. We'll be releasing songs soon. That's really all.
Great. That was the episode for today.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
He's a
I hope you
connoisseur
enjoyed
of
it.
Domino's Pizza.
Yeah.
Oh,
No
stop.
details like that.
Yeah.
The Minos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I met you when I arrived here in 2019. I remember you were the first busker I asked, how do they work? How does it work? Like the way you were playing, because I didn't know about inverters. I didn't know about the portable batteries. And I went up to you and I asked you, like, where do I get all of this so I can start
I was probably
playing?
super rude. I was like,
No, you were fine. You were
He usually
fine.
is very rude
Yeah.
to new people.
No, he wasn't. He
I'm always
wasn't at
quite
all.
standoffish.
Yeah.
Was
Yeah.
that a few points in him?
No, he was very
Feeling merry.
probably. Yeah. And yeah, I met you there. You were busking, and now you just gig, don't you? You're
Yeah.
not busking for a while.
Yeah. But
You took a break.
but it wasn't like a conscious choice. It was just kind of like I started gigging more and more. And then just as time went on, I was like, I won't go out busking today because I'm gigging later on.
Yeah,
I don't want to like use my voice too much.
yeah, it drains you also.
Yeah. And then just as time went on, I just started gigging more. And it just made sense not to busk as much. So now I don't really busk at all. Actually, I don't busk at all. That's it.
I think that's how most people leave. I was
Yeah.
chatting to you about it last week. Like I've been doing it 9 years now, and most people, I don't really know anyone who's made a conscious, like, I'm not busking anymore. It's always been stuff like that, you know? And even like for acts who get like signed, you know, it's the same process. It's not like, oh, I've signed a deal, so I don't busk anymore. It's like, oh, I have to go out and do this promo thing today, so I can't busk today. And it's like,
Yeah,
it's kind of a very natural, it's always
Yeah.
it seems to have a very natural death, you know?
It's like busking kind of goes like on the back foot of everything else as time goes on. You
yeah,
know?
it makes sense.
It's still great. I miss it sometimes. I miss especially just kind of like meeting everyone, like going out for the day, and then you're like, oh, I'll go for coffee with like you or Dylan or whoever's around.
Coffee.
We do coffee.
Yeah, we drink
Early.
coffee.
I've never seen you drinking.
And then Jay goes on the pints. And then at the time he goes on the pints, I still have about 2 hours of coffee left
Yeah.
in me.
Yeah,
And then I go on the pints.
yeah,
But it's
And about
usually
2 hours after that, everyone else goes
But
on
what
the pints.
usually happens is like, oh, it's it's lunchtime. I'm a bit hungry.
I
I
might
go to
have a
Mary's
toasty.
and go get toasty and a pint.
So it's
Mary's Bar and Hardware.
yeah, yeah.
No, they're not paying us.
They have mites.
No. Don't go there until they pay us. Don't go there until we have a code or something. Don't be fucking. We're not giving out free promo for.
We get 10% discount.
Yeah, we do. We're not, but the people. You know what I mean?
All right, yeah.
Don't be telling people about the 10%
Oh, let,
discount.
can I interrupt you because I forgot one thing is, you know, the day I got robbed, it was on last thing I talk about this is because I want to give a shout to Music Maker because I went there the next day on Saturday. I told them about my sad story and they made a huge discount
Lads
on
and
the
Music
gear.
Maker are legends.
Yeah.
They're such
they're
good
legends.
people.
They
They're
made
so
a
always
nice.
huge
sort me
discount
out.
on the microphones I got, the cables I needed, and they made sure I was sorted. So
Yeah, they're awesome,
Yeah.
man.
thank you
They're
so
really
much
good
for that.
people.
I appreciate it. Yeah,
Buy way too many guitars from there.
yeah,
And they always give me a good discount.
yeah.
Yeah, they're great.
Great. Mm.
And they're kind of the last cool music shop in Dublin City because Goodwin's is closed.
Yeah, good ones. Yeah, we
And
only
the
found
one
that
left
last
is
week.
Music Minds, and I'll go on camera saying this. The lads of Music Minds are. Oh shit! Can I say that?
Yeah, yeah.
No, don't. Edit that out. YouTube actually doesn't like that word. I
Yeah.
forget that. YouTube won't.
Yeah, yeah.
They'll yellow you for that word.
Yeah, yeah.
Try bleep that.
Yeah, you
but
will.
they're arseholes. They don't care about that
Yeah.
word.
Yeah.
So like it's kind of just Music Maker, you know what I mean? And
Yeah,
thank God they're so sound.
Some neck is still in town though.
Some neck is,
Yeah.
Francis
Some neck is
Street.
good. If you want like really like vintage guitars or like old
Just don't
guitars.
go Music Minds, you know,
Yeah.
because they're not nice people,
Yeah.
and I don't believe in supporting businesses that I don't care about. Do you know what I mean? I'll say what I have to say. You know what I mean?
That's good. That's what we're here for.
Yeah,
You can be yourself and say whatever you want.
yeah. It's right beside the Halfpenny Bridge. Don't go there.
Yeah.
But the lads of Music Maker, legends.
Yeah.
Love them.
Yeah.
Who else can I this? Where else can I get barred from? Is the question. You know, if they ever do catch wind of this, I'm definitely not allowed back there. You know,
Well, I mean, you can definitely not go shopping the Music Minds.
No.
you just
Oh, you go in and be like,
yeah.
have you seen my podcast? And they'd be like, no. And then they click on this episode. And there you go.
They're not gonna be sponsored anyway. So that's
Screw
fine.
them. Screw them.
They're quite expensive, to be fair.
They overcharge. They're really. I remember being a young musician and them being really, really rude to me.
Yeah.
In a way that, like, even when I look back now, wasn't warranted. You know what I mean? Young musicians have stupid questions. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just part of the process.
Yeah, obviously.
And now that I'm more experienced and I get asked those stupid questions, my reaction is never as rude as those guys were to me.
That's because you're a legend.
I am a legend and an icon, and thank you for saying that. But even that aside, it's just basic human decency, you know?
Yeah.
And that's why we don't rock with Music Minds on this podcast. Now I am speaking for the podcast. All right, let's get off this before I
Yeah.
get down a weird rabbit hole, you know?
Yeah.
A rage-filled rabbit hole.
And Marks and Spencer's.
So Jay, you moved to Derry recently.
No.
Londonderry.
You have to go and scratch that one out. Yeah, I moved up in like the end of last August. And now I'm back in Dublin.
Yeah.
So I
what
didn't even
was-
last a year,
Yeah.
but it was nice.
But you used to live there when you were younger.
Oh yeah, when I was
Yeah.
much younger, yeah. When I was like 18. Not that I'm much older than 18 now.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's nice. It's a nice place, man. It's like a city, but it's more like a town.
Yeah.
Yeah, the town itself is actually quite nice, yeah. But yeah, I just went up to take a break from Dublin for a while. I was gigging
Too much.
too much. I was doing like 6 days a week, and I was doing like 2-3 gigs a day in bars.
That's mad, man.
And the money was good. No, it wasn't actually. It was terrible. But no, it was grand. But I never would have given it up unless I like took myself out of it.
Yeah.
That's why I did it. So then I just went up and kind of just took a break. Didn't gig as much, which was nice. And just kind of focused more on like my own music and kind of just writing, recording stuff, kind of demoing stuff.
Yeah.
And it was the first time I actually sat down in a long time and put focus on that. So that was nice.
Yeah.
So, and it's kind of, it's worked out well enough. You know, I'll have music coming out now at the end of the year.
Yeah.
We love the end of the year.
Yeah.
End
Yeah.
of the year. Jay said that every year since I met him. So it's like a running joke. This time he actually does have a song. Like our friend Paul Jenkinson,
Yeah,
the
Paul
guy who produces
Jenkinson
my
mixing
stuff,
it,
is
yeah.
currently mixing the track, so it's real
Big
this
shout to
time.
Paul. I miss him.
Yeah, me too.
Well, it was always real. I was just delusional.
But it's great. Yeah, it's great that you finally have something ready to go.
Yeah, no, I'm excited.
That must it must feel good.
Yeah, well, I also just think it's down to like just time and putting. Obviously, it's all down to putting like time and effort into it, but it's also just down to being like willing to sit down and do it. And I think it's just having enough experience as well to talk about shit. You know,
Yeah, that makes sense.
that's the other thing.
Yeah.
And kind of just like knowing what your style of music is and your genre as you go on.
Yeah.
Because if I had done this when I was younger,
Mm-hmm.
probably just wouldn't have known what to do.
Yeah.
Probably would have wrote some
Whatever.
music that I was really into because it was like the style or the trend or something.
And what are your songs about now?
Sadness, heartbreak.
Oh,
There's a little bit of hope in there sometimes.
Yeah.
disgusting.
No, I don't know. They're mostly just sadness. No, I say sadness. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. It's mostly just like heartbreak and just sometimes personal experience.
Yeah.
Sometimes not. There's just personal reflection, I guess, in some songs as well.
And do you feel when you write those songs, you know, I only realize about this now, but it's a good way to like release yourself from everything that's inside and put it into words and put it into a song.
Well, I find like particular situations, if I'm writing about a certain situation, I can't really write about it in the moment because I'm too like
Yeah, yeah. Upset maybe?
upset and like kind of clouded or fogged by like the idea of or the things that are going on, the feelings that's going on. It's not till I'm a few months out from the situation where I'm like have a bit more clarity and like now I can actually like what's the word? Figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
You know, that's kind of
yeah.
like so.
So have a different take on,
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
situation. Yeah.
So that's kind of when I can write about stuff like that.
Yeah.
But in the moment, now I'm too like
Raging. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. What about you, Dilly?
What about me?
Same thing. When you write songs, do you feel it's like a form of therapy
A bit,
for
yeah.
you to release whatever's inside?
Yeah, well, like my songs would be like Jay's, like they're
Yeah.
kind of sentimental in a way, and definitely kind of a documentary of how you're feeling.
Yeah.
You know, so I think sometimes even as you're writing the song, it kind of reveals things to you. So you know, sometimes things just pop out,
Yeah.
and you're like, "Oh, I didn't realize I was feeling that." But yeah, my songs would be kind of similar in that way. It's like definitely just capturing kind of who I am in the moment.
Yeah.
Because I even find looking back on songs, like let's say an angry one or a sad one or something, some part of me is embarrassed about it because the way I deal with it in those emotions now wouldn't be the same way I would have dealt with the emotions 2 years ago. So even kind of captures my own flaws in that way, you know, and my own naivety. And that's kind of what the process of songwriting is for me to kind of, it's one part therapy and another part documentary, you know.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of interesting to look back on the work and like watch how I develop and see new things pop up as I go along, you know.
And when they're, for example, well, sometimes you do write about your feelings, but do you sometimes tend to create stories that are not real?
I don't
You don't?
generally. A lot of songwriters do. I think it's a great way to go about it, but I don't have the desire to do that. It's why if there's not a lot going on in my life, I don't really write a lot, you know. I need to be in a certain emotional state. I just have no interest in it. You know, I think there's lots of great songs there. Like, obviously, a lot of the Beatles stuff is based solely off them being high, and it's just made up weird stuff, you know? And that's great, but I just don't have any desire personally to write about that stuff, you know?
Yeah.
I think the most fictional thing in my songwriting would be how dramatic it can be sometimes. As in, like, because I'm in such an emotional state, right, in the song, things tend to be dramatized.
Yeah.
you know. And when I look back on it with a clear head, I'm like, oh, it wasn't that bad, man, you know. But that's it. It's mostly just like kind of a factual capture of what was happening, how I was feeling, you know.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
understand.
like Springsteen and Bon Jovi and stuff and all those kind of bands. They do a lot of that kind of character writing.
Yeah, Springsteen actually
Yeah.
is the best example. He's
Very
like
character driven. Like The River isn't a true story.
his whole catalog is about being a working man, which he never was, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, it's like there's definitely a place for it. You know, I don't think it's inherently a bad thing. I don't think every
It's like
every
writing.
artist has to be overly sincere. You know, it's just we have to follow your own feeling, your own voice. You
Yeah.
know, so like my voice is like I feel called to be authentic and genuine, even when it's dark and ugly.
Yeah,
And if someone else feels the calling to like build this character like Springsteen did and run with that, that's great. You know, I think both are perfectly fine, and they
yeah.
both
It,
have
it
their
would be
place.
like when you write books. I've never written a book myself, but there are fictional books or real story biography.
Yeah.
Different types of
It's
books.
a difference
It's
between
the same.
yeah,
for
it's literally just
songs.
a difference between an autobiography and a fictional novel.
Yeah.
That's it.
I also find like sometimes when you're like writing and you sit down to like write about something you're doing personally in your own life and about your own feelings, sometimes that changes. Sometimes that then becomes half of that will become fictional because you're like you kind of run away in your own head about it, you know.
Yeah.
So like some of it, I don't, not in all cases, but in some cases, like some of it will be like, oh, this is how I really feel at the moment. But then halfway through the song, it's like this big made up story that never actually happened. It just sits well in like the storytelling of the song, you know. Just kind of do. Yeah. What about you? What way do you write or approach?
It's kind of the same way. I mix a little bit, like in the last few songs that I've written. The last song I've written is like my story here in Ireland. As like I arrived here with only one guitar and with a dream of playing music, which I never did in Chile, like professionally as I do it here.
Yeah.
And I also add some bits, some fictional bits, as you were saying, because it makes sense to the song.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you cannot put into words every feeling that you have,
Sure.
but you need to find a way to express it with metaphors and stuff like that. But it's usually I decided to speak about this because it's becoming for me as a form of therapy as well as doing the podcast, because I'm able to speak with colleagues
Yeah.
and friends that are on the same page. So I learned a lot from the guests that I have here,
Yeah.
and that pushes me to write more, wanting to write more, wanting to create more. So yeah, I think my approach is talking about my feelings and create a story with them, and yeah, that would be my main thing
Yeah.
right now. I'm trying to write one song every morning now,
Yeah.
Yeah,
pushing
cool.
myself, trying different tunings in the guitar because I'm a bit sick of the standard tuning at this stage. So I'm trying weird stuff, and sometimes I only write riffs, and then I say to myself, "There, one day will come where I have all these songs ideas, because I usually create a verse and a chorus,
Yeah.
and someday I will grab all of them and put words into the ones that I haven't added any words." And because as I said in the last episode, I was talking to Sar, you know, Alessandro.
Yeah.
Love him.
Me too.
One of the first buskers I saw was
Yeah.
in
He's
Dublin.
amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's amazing, man. So we were saying this, that probably for you makes sense when you do a guitar riff or you have a chord progression, you let the melody, not the melody, but the chord progression speak to you, so you can put words into the melodies that
Yeah.
you have in your head. So that's what I try to do as well.
But I find that's quite normal. Like a lot of musicians and songwriters and like have like notebooks, and loads of them just have like half written songs or like, you know, a verse or a chorus or like one or two lines of each thing on a page, and you just have loads of notebooks full of them, and like even like on your phone there's full of like notes and like voice notes and stuff.
Yeah.
That's quite normal. I used to do this thing for a while there through the last year where I used to get up in the morning, especially because my sleeping part was kind of okay for a while because I wasn't gigging late. So I was like getting up in the mornings and I was like having coffee, and I just do like morning pages where you just like write freehand. You don't even think about what you're writing, you're just kind of like letting it flow.
Yeah.
That was good. It kind of just unclogged what was ever like going on in your mind, or kind of like just freed the space up or whatever.
Yeah.
Then I just found when I sit down, like pick up the guitar and go to like write a song, it was much easier because I wasn't thinking about 1,200 different things. It was just like, it was just emptied subconsciously on a page.
Yeah, that's a great exercise.
And then I was able to write. But different things work for everybody, you know?
Yeah.
I don't do that now at the moment because I go through phases of like doing different ideas to see what I can do to like write better or write more songs, you know? And sometimes I don't write at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, though. I don't think you shouldn't be chasing writing, you know?
Yeah.
Like what you do in the mornings, you can do that. But like, you shouldn't beat yourself up for either getting nothing out of it or maybe just not doing it that morning because you're really not in the mood, you know?
Yeah.
I
Because
think
creativity's not like other jobs.
Yeah.
You know, if you're in any creative field, like, you know, it requires like an element of mood and situation and stuff like that, you know? It's not, if I go to an office, I might have like a list of tasks to do that day. That's easy. You tick boxes, right?
Yeah.
It's like, not easy, like I'm not on there playing, you know, how hard people work in offices, but you know what I mean? There's like a clear path.
Yeah.
There's no clear path with creativity, and I think
No.
Yeah.
a lot of musicians like hurt themselves sometimes because
I think
they're not writing as much as they, in theory, think they should be. You know,
I think everyone works differently, you know, especially like there's a lot of people like I listen to and I watch like interviews stuff, and they talk about like how they will like get up and do what you do and like write a song every day, or try and just spend 6 hours in a day just writing. And they're like, well, I'm there, and if the song's shit, then the song's shit. But at some stage within that 6 hours, I'll be present in case a good song comes, you know?
yeah,
Yeah.
And that works for some people. And then for some people, it's just like a lightning bolt moment, and they have to sit down and they can't do anything else until they write that song, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
It just depends. Things work different for different people, you know? So there's no clear, as you say, there's no clear path to it. It's just,
for sure.
It's just whatever works for people, you know?
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, the only way why I'm doing that now is because of that feeling of not feeling that you are doing enough, that you could be doing more,
Yeah.
yeah,
and because I've been playing so many covers lately, I'm just fed up of playing someone else's music,
sure.
and I feel that I need to write my own stuff, so I feel fulfilled at least that I
Yeah.
did something productive.
Do you think you'll feel fulfilled? Genuinely,
Yeah.
like if you wrote 20 songs in the next week, do you think you'd feel fulfilled?
Yeah, because I would have gotten rid of the bad songs,
Right.
you know, so I can, if I write 20 songs, I maybe can grab 2 or 3 of them.
Because my thing with fulfillment in music, I find like I had all these boxes to tick when I was 16, and I've done a lot of them. I'm 26 now, you know, and I've actually gotten to do a lot of them, and I only ever felt good about it for like a day, and then there was just another thing, whether it was songwriting or particular gigs or anything like that. Like, I don't really know if there is fulfillment in this, true fulfillment.
Yeah,
You
you
know?
never be satisfied.
Yeah, it's
You
just
know?
there's always another goal. Like,
Yeah.
because essentially what you're doing is building a brand and a business. If you're doing it publicly, which
Yeah.
we all are, it's like, yeah, okay, we'll sell out like, you know, Croke Park in 5 years. Then what? It's actually the worst position to be in because it's like once you're doing stadium tours, it's like where
Where do you go next?
does it go?
Yeah.
And then
There's
anything
5
below
nights in
that is the
Vegas.
next the next venue up, or the next, you know, if you're chasing chart numbers, it's the next number on the chart up. Let's say you're in the top 20, it's like, okay, well, let's try push for the top 10. Let's try push for number 1. It's like, I don't know if there's fulfillment in it,
Yeah.
which I don't think is a bad thing, you know. But like,
Yeah, it's just like I feel I'm working on what I should have been working.
Right.
You know, that's what I feel. I wouldn't call it fulfillment, but
You feel like you're on the
I
right
would
path.
be guilty free,
Yeah.
guilt
Yeah.
free. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, that's what I'm chasing now.
Yeah.
Because of that.
Yeah, I definitely think that's healthier to chase than
Mm-hmm.
kind of like allowing yourself to feel shit and take on extra
Mm.
pub gigs or busking or whatever, you know. You need to find that balance for sure. So
Yeah.
you're definitely on the right path.
I
Yeah.
mean, we were saying before this as well, like pub gigs are great in terms of like it allows you to make money, and you can use that money to like live and obviously put towards like recording your music if that's
Yeah.
what you want to do or whatever it is. But there's nothing wrong either with playing pubs, you know. Like,
No, nothing. Nothing at all.
I mean, it's just about how much time you put into it, you know. Like
Yeah.
you can't get sick of it, obviously.
Yeah.
And I have, and I think that's what you're talking about as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a matter about
Finding the balance.
find the balance, split your time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's great. It's a great way to make money, though. You know.
Yeah, and also it's like any job that allows you to perform as an artist, it will make you improve. Also in
Yeah.
your writing, not only
Yeah.
words, but the way you sing, the way you play.
Yeah.
Because I've noticed, you know yourself, you've been playing for much longer than me, but I realized that when you play upbeat, you can play with the rhythms of the songs in a
Yeah,
way
yeah,
that
yeah.
you would never do naturally if you were busking, for
Yeah.
example. Or if you were writing a song, you wouldn't do
Yeah.
Yeah.
or something weird. But when I'm in pubs, I'm like, oh, my hand is much faster now, so I can like strum it like really
Yeah.
fast in a way that I wouldn't been able to.
Oh, I found my
You know?
my playing has gotten so much better from just
Yeah.
from playing all the time and like bars
Yeah.
and stuff.
So it helps you
Yeah,
a lot.
it's just like your rhythm hand gets so much better. Your voice does get stronger.
Yeah,
You just get smarter with certain things you're doing as well.
Yeah.
You know, and yeah, it is very beneficial.
it's a paid practice as I see it.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's a great way to advertise yourself as well.
Yeah, yeah, busking and gigging. Yeah, because in the past I was working in offices, obviously not because I loved it, but because I had to because of my visa situation and all that. And I was coming to busk only on the weekends, and I had loads of mistakes when I played, when I sang, a lot of like out of tune inflections in my voice, and I wasn't happy with it. But then I realized, well, if I'm not doing it full time, what can I expect from it? You know, I cannot expect that I will come every Saturday and sound amazing
Yeah.
when I'm not doing it every day. So
It's all just practice.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And routine. And it's just what's the word? Your
being consistent.
consistency.
Yeah. Sorry, my English is not very good.
Well, it's fucking better than mine because I couldn't even get that word. So.
Yeah, I think we went too serious now.
What you mean?
I think this is a good conversation.
It's a good conversation. All right.
I mean,
We can get less
We're not
serious
sad.
if you want.
We're not sad.
No, I'm not sad.
yeah,
We're just
You
focused
can
on
get less serious if you want, though.
yeah. Or more serious now.
Yeah. Why'd you make yourself so easy to rob the other day? Like, it just wouldn't have happened if you didn't make it as easy for them, you know what I mean?
Man, to be honest.
Why do you think I walk around like this all the time?
Yeah.
I learned that growing up in Famous, right? You just like, you look just angry enough that they're like, maybe not him, you know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And you fucked up, man. You dropped the ball.
I was talking with a friend as I was walking. I was really tired. I was
Step
heading to
one.
the bus.
Problem one, you have friends.
I
you were
was like-
tired.
It makes
Yeah.
you seem
You should have drank
approachable.
a can of
It makes you
Monster
seem
before you
likeable.
went for a walk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you should have had coffee in
It
your
was
hands.
no, it was
Yeah.
after
Do you know if you had,
everything.
if you had a coffee in your hand and you saw that happen, you could just throw in hot coffee over them.
Yeah.
But I
would have
didn't see
assessed
it.
that when
I
they were
didn't see it
robbing you. They
happening.
would have
That's
been
the
like, maybe
problem.
let's call us with coffee.
you know.
You know?
I can't believe we're making this perfect.
How's your Northside accent? How's your Northside accent?
What?
What? All right, that's
not
all right,
great.
yeah.
Too bad.
Yeah. Can you say like,
Give me a euro.
get away from my stuff in a Northside accent?
get the fuck away from me stuff.
We'll work on it.
Yeah.
We'll work on it.
Something like that.
It's there. There's a basis.
There's a base
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
No,
The
if you've
nasally.
been here long enough, that
Just
you
get
have
away
a
with me
base.
fucking stuff, will you?
Yeah, go
Well,
away.
yeah. Yeah.
Go away.
It's kind of like the get kind of has an oar in it.
Yeah.
Go away.
It's like, get up.
Go up. Go up out of there. Look. And they go, oh shit, he's one of us.
Are these microphones like clipping or anything yet? Are they?
Okay, good.
Yeah.
That's what I use. I grew up in Finglas, you know. My accent's obviously washed out a little bit from talking to tourists.
And from
through the
leaving
years.
where now? Where do you live now?
Well, I'm not telling people on the podcast where I live. You crazy? D4. D4.
What's your phone number for
Amongst
women
the
out
rich people. They probably own the house you're living in. Now, am I rich? No. But do I deserve to be there? Yes,
Yeah.
because I'm a legend and an icon.
Yeah.
And a legend and icon can't be living in Finglas where you grew up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I couldn't be doing that.
You need to have some progress in your life.
Yeah, I need to be amongst the other legends and icons of Dublin, you know?
there? Where does Bono live?
Don't know, like Killiney or something like that.
Yeah.
I got sick in Bono's bin once. I did. Did I ever tell you that?
What?
So my friend's mom has like a cleaning company, and when I was 18, like we used to go out and help her when the jobs were big.
Yeah.
Because she only had like, I think she had like 2 or 3 people on staff, you know? Mm-hmm. And you two were gearing up to record an album, which I actually think was the album that they forced on everyone's iPods, if you remember
yeah.
that.
One with
yeah,
every
yeah.
breaking wave, isn't it?
I'm not sure. I just remember we did that job, and then like maybe a year later, everyone was like, "Why the fuck is U2's album on my iPod?" You know. So anyway, there's like a house across the road from Bono's. I think.
Just disclaimer, we really like you too.
I
Yeah.
like
Really good.
U2. Yeah, I'm not shitting on them.
Yeah.
Wait, you think Bono's gonna see this?
Here, if
You think Bono's gonna see
Here,
this?
if music
and then
minds-
he's gonna end your career.
what career? I haven't even started.
You know what I
yet.
mean? Like, trust me, Bono's not watching this podcast, brother.
If music minds can see this, I'm sure Bono can see it.
So we were like cleaning the house because they were using it as a studio.
Yeah.
And then his tour manager was there, Sam, I think his name was. We were chatting away. And he was like, "Do you want a coffee?" And I was like, "Sure, I'll have a coffee." And he said to like one of the sound guys, he was like, "Make him a coffee." So they just had like an espresso machine.
Yeah.
And I took one sip of it. And then straight away I was like, I'm gonna throw up. And I had to run out to the kitchen
Why?
and just yak in the bin. I don't know what it was like. I don't know what it was. The coffee was just not right or something. I don't know what it was.
It was an Irish
Were you
coffee.
out
I
there?
spent
Sorry,
like
anything?
no. I spent like 10 minutes getting sick in a bin.
Bono's been.
Yeah. And then I had to get back up and start cleaning again.
Like nothing
It
happened.
was like there was no like room for it. As soon as I was done getting sick, my friend's mom came in. She was like, "Come on now." And I was like, "All right." I was like sweating and all. It was horrible. Yeah,
That's a great story.
Pretty good. That's my claim to fame. I must tell him that if I ever meet him.
I was speaking about Bono. One day I was busking in Molly Malone, as usual. And I was there like for almost 2 hours. And in the end I sang, obviously, With or Without You. I finished. Then this Turkish guy with a flute came and started playing. And Bono was walking with a guy and a camera filming
No.
him. Or it was the
So this guy walks
the
around all the
doppelgang-
time. I know who
the
you're talking
doppelganger.
about. So there's a guy from, I can't know, he's from some European country,
I hate him.
right?
Yeah.
And he
We used to watch him walking through
yeah,
Temple Bar all
he
the
walks
time.
around Temple Bar all the time.
I think he
he
pretends
walks through
he's
city
Bono,
centre
doesn't he?
and he dresses like Bono. Now he does this thing where he's like, I'm not claiming to be Bono's ganger. Like he tries to do this disclaimer, but he dresses exactly like him.
Ah, yeah. So it wasn't Bono
Sunglasses,
then. Yeah.
everything, and he walks around and people are all like, "Oh, that's Bono," and he waves and he doesn't really speak, and people are asking for pictures and he takes pictures with them, but he won't speak.
Never corrects him, yeah.
I never corrects them.
Fair play to him.
And the bloke makes money off this as well.
Yeah.
How does he make monetize
I don't
that?
know.
YouTube, like TikTok
I'm not
shorts?
sure.
I don't know.
But he's like, he's not doing it for free.
Yeah. But
You can
it
make
was
money.
mad because
Since
he
the
looked
internet, man,
exactly
you can make
like him.
money off anything
Anything.
now. It's crazy. You can just be a
Do a
fake Bono
podcast.
for a living. Like, it's nuts.
Will we go get Bono outfits today?
Oh, 100%.
After this,
100%.
the four of us, there's a guy behind the camera here, the four of us go get Bono outfits.
Yeah. They go, and I'll just tell them we're you too.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, there's
All
only one
Bonos.
Bono on you too. And we'll be like, we should know we're you too. What do you know about it? You know what I mean? You gotta tell you two what you two is supposed to be.
Yeah.
And I'll go watch this and you can just start singing with or without you. Really out of key. With or without you.
Yeah, proper like north side Dublin accents.
With or without
Without
you.
you.
With or without, yeah.
We can't live,
We can't live with or without you.
without any glue.
All right. So we know what we're doing this evening.
Yeah.
Solid plan. Can't wait.
So it wasn't Bono then.
Oh no.
Probably not, man.
But
probably
when you were
not.
telling that story, I knew this was the direction you were going with it.
Yeah.
And I was like, I know he's going.
I'm sorry to break your heart.
Yeah.
I
And
just
the guy
think-
even tipped the flute, the Turkish guy, you know, was
How
like
much do you tip him?
€2.
That's how you know it's not Bono.
Yeah.
Like, do you think Bono's even carrying cash? I feel like actually most actually rich people I know or have met, they never actually have any cash on
Yeah.
them. Like, you know,
That's why I have my pockets full
like-
of cash.
yeah, but you know what I mean? It's just like, I just don't think Bono had €2 in his pocket.
Yeah,
Yeah.
me
Like,
neither.
why would Bono have €2 in his pocket? You know? What's he carrying around loose change for?
Yeah.
It's not like he ever has to get
Maybe
a
he
bus.
had a coffee, you know. Bewley's
Like,
or
it's not
something.
like,
No, bloke taps his card.
it's not like
Yeah.
he needs it to hop on the dart. Like, I can't imagine he's been on public transport any time recently. You know, it's
And
too
I imagine
dangerous
as
for him
well,
to be
if,
on
he,
public
if he's
transport.
buying a coffee and he's somehow using cash,
Yeah.
he's definitely handing them 20 quid and telling them to keep the change. You know?
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't guarantee that now.
Well, I was working as a barista once and Bono came in.
With this camera crew, and he paid me in €2 coins. Funny enough, he didn't speak. He just pointed to the menu. It
Yeah.
was really weird.
Honestly, though, it's so strange. You know, if you could get, we should do this thing where, you know, like you see on podcasts, they have like a laptop in front of them.
Yeah.
And they get up the clip and then they like put the video in the corner of the YouTube
Yeah,
video of the
yeah,
podcast.
yeah.
You should start doing that and then we can get the video up of Bono.
Oh yeah.
Bono.
We'll
Yeah.
come back. We'll come back in 2 months.
I'll do it
and
when
we'll
I do
dedicate an
the
episode to
short
fake Bono.
videos.
Yeah.
I
We should
can
do a
do
fake Bono special.
Yeah.
Next
Get
time,
fake
next
Bono
time,
on this
No,
podcast.
oh yeah, that'd be awesome. And then we'll do it on the anniversary of the Joshua Tree release.
Yeah,
We'll find out when that
Joshua Tree,
released,
yeah.
and we'll do it on the anniversary
Yeah.
of that.
Yeah.
And we'll sit here and we'll grill him.
Yeah.
We'll be like, we'll start off soft on him, like, hey, nice to meet you, blah, blah, blah. We want to talk to you about what you do, blah, blah. And then at the end, we'll come in, very end, we won't be here most of the episode, we'll come in balaclavas and we'll be like, why are you scamming people? You know, and we'll just watch them sweat a bit. You
Why
know?
do you pretend to be Bono?
Yeah, and then we'll make it up to him by giving him like
You wouldn't
a gift
understand.
card to Costa or something.
Give him back that €2.
Yeah.
Food pay.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll throw a bag of coins on him. Do you like €2? Do you? Here's a load of them. I thought it'd be funny to go to a strip club and throw money. You know the way in the US, now I'm in the flow of it. Can you see? Like I'm actually like I'm in a bit of a flow now.
Yeah.
You know the way in the US they have $1 bills. I always thought it'd be funny to do that with €1 coins. Obviously, I'd never do it because you're gonna be
What's-
pelting some poor woman who's just trying to make money with like hard metal. But I think in theory, it's such a funny idea of this like character almost who doesn't really understand
But so this actually happened
the
before.
basics of life.
What's that English comedian? He's real skinny, but short, always sweats.
Oh, Lee Evans.
Lee Evans. So Lee Evans used to have a sitcom on BBC years ago. Now, I would have been like probably 7 or 8 at the time, you know?
A good few years ago.
A few years ago, you know? But like, the opening of one of the episodes was him and his mate, and they were actually in a strip club.
Right.
Right, and his mate goes to him, Lee, give him some change or give her some change. So Lee whips out a little money bag with coins in it, opens everywhere,
And pours it
the
in.
coins down.
I just always thought it'd be funny to hear from the distant background, make it rain, and then a load of coins flying towards. And a mix of coins as well, you know. Some 5-cent pieces in there, you know. Everything from 5 cents up to €2, you know. It's just a handful, just like it's like shrapnel. I just always thought that'd be hilarious.
Just, yeah, a few pence in there.
Yeah,
Cents.
yeah. Mix up the currencies, you know. Yeah, they might be traveling soon, you know.
Check Corona, you know.
Anyway, that's my thoughts on strip clubs. Tipping them. I've never actually even been to a strip club. I think about that. I think about that often.
He went silent there. Well,
You said same.
oh, okay,
Oh, yeah.
fair enough.
What are you trying to do? Yo, dog. What are you trying to do to my friend, man? Sit up straight there. We're going to intimidate him now.
No,
All right,
no.
there's
I
not,
can't sit up
there's not
straight.
as big a height difference as I thought there'd be. What are you doing, dog?
No, I'm just trying to be nice.
Listen. This
I was
man
in
knows
I was in a Hooters in Canada once.
Where?
I knew that. I was trying to set him up for that. I was trying to set him up to interject.
Yeah, that was interesting.
That's kind of close. Yeah, it's like a PG-13 strip club.
Yeah. It's like, you know, you just go in, you get like pitchers of beer and like chicken wings, and
Yeah.
it's just like,
It's all about
I don't know
kissing
what I
ass.
don't
It's
know
an
what's
American
like
place,
now,
isn't
but
it?
this was like 10 or 11 years ago. I was like 20 or whatever, and they were just like walking around. I don't know how it is now,
Yeah,
but like it was just really short tops and really short shorts.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same thing.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's always like push-up bras and like cleavage out and stuff like
I
that.
wouldn't know. I wasn't looking.
He's just there. He was there for the chicken wings. Man.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
there with
definitely.
chicken
Because
wings
Jay
and beer.
respects women, you know. He'd never be staring down their top like that. You know what I mean? It's all about the burgers and the chicken wings at Hooters, isn't it? You're a good man, Jay. Dap me up.
I am a good man.
Yeah, you're a good guy.
I'm a good man.
You are.
Patron saint of Hooters. Any other uncomfortable topics you want to get into?
I think we should go back to music now.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
So, after you release your music, are you planning to do like wheelins, like your man here
No.
that sells out wheelins every
Um,
time he does it?
Well, I did it once, and I sold out once. So that while you're technically correct, there's lots of room for error there. You know, lots of room for error.
Do you remember that time we saw that wheels?
Yeah, man. March 3rd, 2024.
You're a legend, yeah.
Yeah, I am a legend. Thank you for saying that.
You're welcome.
And a cultural icon. Thank
You
for
are a
saying
cultural
that.
icon. You're actually one of the top songwriters of our era,
Of our era.
of any era.
I'd say probably of all time.
Actually, I heard David Bowie did an interview once and said you were the best songwriter he ever heard.
Yeah, and he said it in 1995, 2 years before I was born.
Yeah.
They just knew.
Yeah.
They knew.
Yeah.
They knew. You're welcome, by the way,
Premonition.
everybody. You're welcome.
What's your plan? What's your aim with that?
Do you know what? I just need to sit down and work it out because I wouldn't want to do something like that until I release more music.
Yeah.
And
I
know-
agree.
You know, it's
Yeah.
like it doesn't. I want to release like enough music where like
Like an album, let's say.
yeah, like an EP and a few singles, you know, and just like or even 2 EPs or whatever. Just so there's enough there that I know that I can go in, play a set list.
Yeah.
And not like do like a lot of covers or anything either, you know.
But
Obviously, do 1 or 2 covers that's like cool and like people like, and it'd be something that I do.
Mr. Braggside, for example.
Jay loves singing Mr. Brightside.
Yeah, favorite song. It's actually a great song to be fair.
Yeah.
It's just
For me, it's Riptide.
I'm just singing it all the time.
Braggside for you is Riptide for me.
Yeah. But Jesus, it gets crowds going in pubs.
Yeah.
It does, if they're
You
drunk
could,
enough.
you could be sitting there and you could play
I hate it, though.
a version of Black Hole Sun and be really good, and no one gives a shite.
No.
And then you play Mr. Brightside and people are doing coke off the bar stool. Like,
Yeah, because pub gigs are about playing to the lowest common denominator.
Yeah.
You know, that's why all the set lists are the same. You know, because it's for drunk people who like aren't there to see a gig or think. They're there to switch off. And the more they drink, the more switched off they are. So
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
that is why Mr. Brightside works so well. Like if you play Mr. Brightside at Saturday night, you won't get a response at all. You know, but
well,
if
it
you play
depends
at
how
the
busy
end,
the
it's
bar
like-
is.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, but you know, it's like it is about playing to the lowest common denominator. You know, and that's what it's for. Kind of. That's why the bars hire us. You know.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, in terms of like when it comes to doing shows, my own music and stuff, I kind of want to wait until I have enough music out that I know that I can just put that all into a set list.
Yeah.
And then also add other music in that I haven't released yet.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
then maybe one or two cool covers. I'd also want to I kind of want to get a band together down here because I don't have that down here, and that'd be cool. That's I really like playing with a band. Bands are fun.
Yeah.
And a lot of my music is kind of it's based around having a band and a lot of cool build-ups and
Full
guitar
band,
solos and the strings and stuff. I love all that stuff.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I kind of write music in my head for.
Fair enough.
So I'd want to make sure I have a band and a band that's kind of mostly committed to sticking with me. That way. So see how it goes.
You're in the right mindset.
Yeah.
I don't think you should be rushing to, anyone should be rushing to do headline shows. A lot of work, and you need a little bit of momentum to make it worth the work.
I kind of used to freak out a lot as well, a few years ago when I was younger, about not making it or not doing my thing. It's these things happen when you're ready to make them happen, but
Definitely.
it's all about timing and stuff. It has to be the right timing as well.
Yeah.
I definitely wouldn't be writing the same music now 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I just wouldn't have had kind of the experience or the emotional maturity or the idea of how to talk about these things, where I can do it now much better than I could have done then. Still not saying I'm great at it or anything like that, but definitely better at it now.
Yeah.
And I think that just, as you get older, that just continues to happen. So I think I'm not stressed about it.
Yeah. That's the main thing.
I'm quite happy in most cases now. So I'm just when it happens, it happens. As long as I just keep working towards it, it will.
Yeah.
But I'm not stressed. I'm not stressed.
Yeah.
Can we get a close in of me?
Don't ask them to do too much editing work.
Yeah.
Jesus, your shoulders are very tight there, Jay. For someone who's not stressed.
That's because I'm hench.
Like bricks. No, I think you're in the right mindset for sure. Keep creating. You'll know when to do it. I do think you're right as well, about the right place and right time and stuff. Sometimes I look back on when I was younger and I wasted a couple of years there. And I have to correct myself when I think things like that because I wasn't writing the songs I'm writing now. I couldn't have done the stuff I've done over the last 2 years back then. I didn't have the capacity for it. I didn't have the emotional maturity for it. It's things do kind of happen when they're supposed to. I don't really believe in leaving it up to fate or destiny,
I don't mean it like that. No, but
they do kind of happen when they're supposed to because of the person
you are
when you're doing them.
And it's all down to it's just keep putting the work in, and that doesn't mean you have to do it every day if that's not your thing, but it is.
It does have to be consistent.
It has to be consistent. Yes. And you just have to be willing to put in the effort, and it will come with time. It does come with time.
Yeah.
I'm saying that as if I've done it all already. I haven't fucking done nothing.
You're starting to make moves now, which you weren't doing for the past 5 years or whatever. You're taking those steps to begin.
And I feel you're committed to it now.
Yeah, but also the other thing we all kind of have to remember as well is we've all kind of always, especially you in the last while as well, just worked as musicians.
Yeah.
We don't really have a bad life.
No, it's a great life.
No, not at all.
That's the thing. I don't think anyone should focus on making it. I think you should focus on making the music you want to make.
Yeah.
Making it as good as you think as you can make it.
Definitely.
Putting it out there and still trying to get it out to the audience. That there is an audience for everything, right?
Yeah.
So it's about finding the audience.
Because
and you should do all those things, but your self-worth should not bet on that.
Because even there's tons of people I meet in bars and stuff, and they'll say to me, "Have you heard this band or this songwriter?" I've never heard them in my life, and they don't come across as someone that's big. But you go and check out their Spotify and stuff, and they have multiple 100,000s of plays or millions of plays or whatever, and that doesn't mean a whole lot, but still it's there and they have an audience for it, and it's stuff that I've probably never heard or you've never heard or you've never heard.
Yeah,
there's an audience for everything, know.
Yeah,
sure.
Especially since the internet, everything is a niche market now. Even music, it's become more and more niche. It's why someone can have 1 million streams and you've never heard of them, because it all used to be done through radio play and synchronizing songs in TV and film and stuff like that. And now I can discover an artist and like explore their whole world from my bed, and you guys don't hear it because we're not all listening to the same radio channel. We're not all getting the same stuff on TikTok, Instagram, whatever.
Exactly.
Like there's a guy I met, I'd say a few nights ago over the weekend, and he was playing in the bar, and he was really good. I'd never heard of him before, and I just got chatting to him. Then we followed each other on Instagram, and then I was like scrolling through, and he had like a song through a sync deal for some like a big movie a few years ago. But he's still just kind of like he is who he is, and that's his thing. And he just plays in bars and stuff, but now like I never knew him before.
Yeah.
And anyone I know doesn't know him. You know, that way it's just one of those things. The internet just allows you to have a career without anyone knowing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of
Makes
cool
sense.
Yeah.
to be able to be successful and maintain a certain level of
Because
anonymity.
it used to be like, you have to be on the radio, and you had to
Yeah.
sell records, and you had to, sell, you know.
Yeah.
It was like now it's
It's not like that anymore.
You do it by yourself completely. Macklemore, I don't know if he's still unsigned, but he built like the big part of his career, that kind of moment where he popped off, like he did that independently, you know. And it still requires a team. Like he definitely had management. He definitely paid a PR company to push the music out there. But like you don't have, labels don't need to be involved anymore. That's huge, and that's because of the internet for sure. You know, because you can just build your own
The
brand.
autonomy you get.
it's definitely probably damaged the amount of money you can make, or how rich you can
Well, the
go for.
money's screwed anyway, right?
Yeah.
Because nobody buys albums anymore.
That's what I'm saying.
And your best shot is actually do it without a label.
Yeah.
It's harder work, but it's your best bet is to do it without a label, because then the cash flow is yours. And then like labels are still taking big cuts in contracts, and they're not doing anything. Like I have friends with labels, and the labels are pretty much just always like, you need to do TikTok, and it's like, but that used to be your job, like the promo, like that used to be yours. So like, and that's how you justified the percentage, which was still too much at the time.
The
But
other
like,
thing, I think-
that's how you justified it. And like, what's the money for now? Like, they're basically just bankrolling you recording now. That's all they're doing. It's basically a loan for recording, but they get to keep a really high percent even after they've recouped costs. And it seems more and more pointless if you're willing to do the social media thing. Now, I'm not, so I probably would sign with a label, because it just means, and if they told me to do TikTok, I'd be like, no, because I didn't do TikTok before that, so why would
But
I
also
sign
the
now?
other thing is like, I don't think social media suits all genres of music.
No.
See the type, like,
It's also a personality type, like,
yeah,
you
like
know?
I wouldn't say your music or my music would be something that you'd put on like social media fads. You know?
It's not going viral. Like,
Yeah,
I'm not
like,
trying to make like
a lot of
a
like,
fast, catchy 15 seconds.
Yeah.
So that kids on TikTok hit
Yeah.
like enough times.
There's
that, like,
music that's
there's music
been
that's
made
suited
for
to it,
TikTok.
and it's been made for it.
Yeah.
Like those 15 people are writing 15-second hooks to like get fucking viral. You know?
Yeah, you see a lot. Like sometimes you go listen to the actual song, and it's just it's dog shit. Like,
Yeah.
you know, and yeah, I don't know. That's not my thing. You know, I use TikTok to promote like
Shows.
a gig or even just let people know a release is happening.
Yeah.
But I'm not doing this like
A character.
lip syncing my song or showing this song to my mom for the first time, and it's like she's heard it like 20 times, and we have to pretend that like she's reacting to the music. Or, do you know what I mean? I'm not doing any of that, because it's just, I'm frankly too old for it as well. You know, it's like when I'm watching people in their late 30s doing like TikTok trends. It's one thing to promote yourself online. It's a necessary requirement now, right? But like when they're doing what like the 18-year-olds are doing, I'm like, man, you're a grown man. Please don't do that. I'm embarrassed, even if you're not. Like, I'm embarrassed for you. Like, just,
It's cringe.
it's okay, man. Just like come up with a different idea, you know? That's what I do. I come up with comedy skits.
Yeah.
To plug my stuff, you know?
Yeah.
I just did a whole fake documentary.
Yeah.
Where I'm this delusional asshole.
Yeah.
And treating the producer of the song like shit, just to promote the single release, you know. I obviously did the mustache video thing to promote Whelan's
Yeah.
where I go around
That
the mustache.
works.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the
where I
thing.
go
I
around
think
in the mustache asking people if they ever heard of me, and of course the answer is no. And then I get like the character gets like pissed off at people for not knowing who he is.
Yeah.
Even though like why would anyone know my name off
Yeah.
of the
that's the thing. I think when it
top of
comes
the
to like
zone.
social media for like your music or my music, it's all down to like your personality and how you're willing to like do stuff.
Yeah.
In that sense, but like the TikTok trends and stuff like that, it only really works for like the 15-second hooks and the pop music and what's going on in the charts and stuff.
Yeah.
Like I'm not putting on hot pants and shaking.
It attracts the wrong audience sometimes too, right? Because like if you're a pop musician, that crowd might work for you.
Yeah.
But if you're not a pop musician, they're kind of going to you for the wrong reason. They're going because now they expect catchy hooks all the time. So if you want to put music out that isn't catchy, but you think is like a good song and like an interesting piece of art, it's like kind of a bad way to go about it, you know? Because if it were, it's like David Allen said to me before, be careful what you do because it might work. And that really stuck with me because that's how people end up in situations like that. Where now they have to like, all right, that song was a hit. We need to write that song again, but different, you know? It's like now you're in a dangerous spot because you're going to put like a song together that you don't really like because you think it will work. What happens now if it doesn't work? What are you going to do? You know?
Yeah, but sure,
How
you
are you
even,
gonna recover
even
from
saw
the
that with that
embarrassment
whole
of that?
like Lewis Capaldi Netflix documentary.
Yeah. I watched
It
that.
was like he released that first album. It was big. He had some great songs on it. They were all like really popular, And then when they went to the next album, he was writing all these songs, and a lot of those songs were good because you heard some of them in the documentary, but they weren't like the label was like, well, it's not your first album, so write something that sounds like your first album but isn't your first album. And it was so much stress,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like he's had to take like a huge break over that now.
He took a big break, came back for like 2 gigs, and then
It has to take
it
another
got
break
really
again, yeah.
bad again, yeah.
And that's
Yeah,
a
you can't
shame
put-
because like
You can't put yourself in that position.
yeah,
It's dangerous,
that's a
you know?
shame because like he's such a great personality.
Yeah.
And he actually is like a good songwriter, and
yeah,
a fantastic
for sure,
singer,
yeah.
And it's just like let the dude do what he does,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's another thing. I feel like in the 70s, labels were like super experimental.
Yeah,
You know, they
Yeah.
were like, we've never heard something like this. Let's see if it works, you know?
But now there's no room for
Yeah, they kind of
experimenting.
want you to already be proven that you're
yeah,
marketable. And then they basically want less work and the same amount of money. It's the biggest thing that's crazy to me about labels, you know? They don't want to take a chance anymore. They don't want to do the promo. They want you to do the promo, you know? And like ours have always had to do their own promo, don't get me wrong, but you know, like the labels would at least, you know, run ads or stuff like that. It's like all they really have now is like connections for they can get you a Spotify playlisted, they can get your radio play probably if the song's suitable enough.
that's another thing. There's a big issue with like Spotify playlists at the moment because I know someone who had released a song, I'd say a couple of months ago, and they had made it into some playlist. I can't remember what it was called, but they put a story up about it recently. And their song got taken down off Spotify by Spotify,
Yeah.
because they were like, "Oh, you're paying for third-party playlists," and this person didn't. They just got put into this playlist. So they're like, "Oh, but you're paying for it. Listen," so they took it down.
Yeah.
And they can't get it back up now unless they re-release it and tell Spotify that they're re-releasing it, and they have to go to DistroKid and stuff and sort that out. But that's another thing. Spotify are just taking down your songs now if you get into a playlist and it looks like you're getting too popular because it looks like you're paying for
It's
things.
because a lot of playlists use bots.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
That's why it's best just not. And like you shouldn't pay for botted streams anyway.
No.
No.
Because it's very easy to sell. You know, I saw someone once, they had like 100,000 streams and 300 monthly listeners, and that just doesn't add up, right? Like
Yeah.
it doesn't make any sense.
No.
So I get why they're pushing against it.
Yeah, but I mean, shouldn't they? I mean, look.
They should just close the playlist.
Yeah.
And then maybe take some of the streams off, as in like when the way it calculates your streams, like shave them down by the amount that it was streamed, maybe, or a percentage of the amount that was streamed, or something like that. It shouldn't strike the art completely. I don't think it's a bad thing though to stop those botted playlists. It's a scam. It's a scam for young musicians who like are really desperate to pop off overnight because they think that's how it works, kind of, and they spend a lot of money money that you don't have if you're like 18, 19, you know. To get in a playlist, and then the song, it gets like 100,000 streams, but then in the real world, like, you can't sell tickets, you can't get organic growth, like, you can't get people organically to move from your social media to your Spotify. It's like, I think it's bad for you. It's bad for the ego. It's definitely worse.
Well, there's so many people out there kind of like, you know, taking advantage of it, because the amount of messages I get in my like message requests on Instagram all the time from like people going, oh, hey, we curate playlists on Spotify. If you give us like $25, we'll It's just like,
scam.
no, I'm not giving. It's like, I know it's a scam, you know, but there's
obviously.
The
people
false
that don't-
inflation never works anyway, you know. To give you buy followers on Instagram or buy streams on Spotify, like, people smell that stuff really fast, you know.
Yeah, you can see that on the engagement.
You see, it doesn't add up, you know. Like, let's say I buy 100,000 followers tomorrow and I have 300 likes on a post.
Yeah.
That engagement's way too low for someone with 100,000 active followers.
There's loads of Instagram accounts.
And it makes you look
like that.
worse than someone who's still trying to grow.
Yeah.
It makes you look, I think it looks kind of lazy or something, you know. It's like you're not even trying. You're just, you're trying to skip steps, and they can't be skipped. Like, they have to be,
Mate.
you have to go through them. Like,
Yeah, and you only get better by going through those things as well. Like in
yeah.
general, you know?
I do think Spotify needs a better appeals process for that, though. Like, stuff like that, like, maybe you just got added to a playlist, or maybe, like, if
Well, that
you're
was the thing
young and you just don't know any better, like, you should have a second chance to rectify the mistake and then not make it again.
The person I was talking about was about our age, and they know all the crack, so they never go near that stuff, you know.
Yeah.
But it's just Spotify. They were like, "Oh, your streams went up too fast or whatever. You're definitely paying for it." So they took down the song, and they were like, "Go sort it out with DistroKid." And DistroKid were like, "No, go sort it out with Spotify." But what was funny, they were saying that between those two
They throw the ball.
circumstances, they were just talking to bots
Yeah.
to try and sort out the thing.
Yeah,
you know,
Yeah.
like the whole like help line was just bots for
Yeah.
like DistroKid and Spotify.
Yeah.
You know.
You don't talk to real people anymore either.
Oh, I always
Which is just
request
so
an
ironic,
agent straight
yeah.
away. There's always an option. There's always a command to request an agent. I always do it straight away.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm
Me
not
too.
spending 20 minutes of a bot text me back 4 options and I have to go through them. It's just stupid, man.
Yeah.
It's dumb.
It's a waste of time.
It's just annoying. It's like, because I always, if I'm going to a company for a particular problem, it always ends up actually being one that specifically needs an agent to handle it. It's never, I've never gone on and like had a simple, like, you know, I know, a very simple thing, like I can't find my flight number. It's like, I know how to find that, you know?
Yeah.
I'll just Google how to find it if I can't, you know? So I just don't want to spend. So straight away I just go, request agent.
Yeah.
And then force real people to talk to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not doing it. I refuse to. What was that hand signal? We wrapping up? Oh no.
You trying to get rid of us, are you?
Hey, this was really fun. We hope you liked it too. Seems like we just begun and suddenly we're through. You know the song, Bird in the Big Blue House? Goodbye, goodbye, good friends, goodbye, goodbye. Now it's time to go. But hey, I say, well, that's okay. 'Cause we'll see you very soon, I know. Very soon, I know.
The one I was thinking about was, remember the one that was like...
From a children's show.
yeah.
Ah, okay.
It used to be called Bear in the Big Blue House.
Best
And he used to
show
go
on
up
planet Earth.
and he'd be in like in his attic.
Yeah,
At like the
he'd
top
look
of his
out to
house,
the
and he'd
moon.
be talking to the moon.
Chatting her up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man was doing a lot of
We're
chatting
doing a
up
bit
people.
of flirting.
Oh,
He'd be giving her the eyes, you know?
yeah.
And she'd be smiling though.
Yeah.
And then
Oh,
they'd sing
Bear knew
together.
what he was doing. Like, it's kind of like one of my like flirting icons, you know.
John learned all his best moves from that.
Do you like pizza? Do you?
Okay, I'm gonna tell that story before we wrap. This is the very last thing.
Yeah.
We were in a bar, and I always
This
know
is gonna be funny.
there's two things that Jay gives away when he likes a girl. Right, there's like a special shine in his eye that you grow to recognize over time, and he
called
always
the glint.
starts with,
Yeah.
"Where are you from?" Like, she's like chatting to her. He's like, "Hey, what's your name?" And she's like, and he's like, "Where are you from?" And he looks at me like this. I'm like trying not to laugh. And he goes, Italy. And he goes, Italy. I love pizza.
Yeah,
That was his opener. Works out. Get some giggling.
yeah.
Get some giggling.
There was like one day where I was walking to a gig and you and Paul were with me. We were walking down and there was like these group of like French girls and they saw us with guitars and stuff. They're like, where are you playing? And I was like, oh, I'm playing down here. And I was like, you should come down. They're like, yeah, we might see you later. And I was like, au revoir.
Full Dublin accent. He goes, au revoir. And they were like, bye.
Smooth operator.
Yeah, you got the moves, man. All right, do you want to sign off? Are we doing that now?
Yeah. You do it for me. I'm
Well, I
too
think we
sad now.
just kind of did.
What did we learn today, guys?
Yeah. What's the
What
takeaway
did
from
we learn? Don't be so easy to rob.
Yeah. Yeah.
Always have a cup of coffee.
Don't shop.
Yeah.
Don't shop in a specific music shop who I'm not going to name again, but if you will rewind the episode, the name's in there plenty.
Yeah. Yeah.
J Lo's Pizza
Oh, I love pizza.
and can't pronounce French words unless it's in a full Dublin accent.
Yeah.
And I think that's a pretty good lesson. That's a good set of lessons. Carry that with you.
We also learned that we like you too.
Yeah.
Also, what date is this coming out?
In like 3 more weeks.
Okay, I have a song out on Spotify that came out like 3 weeks ago. And
What's the name?
It's called No More. So listen to that, please. And
Nice one.
come to my show in Whelan's October 10th. We're doing the main room this time.
October 10th.
So I'm gonna
That's
be
in the
the
ground
main
floor,
room,
is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a big.
Yeah, I've
It's a
been there.
big spot.
Yeah.
So I'm very nervous. But go buy
You shouldn't
tickets.
You're gonna kill it.
No, obviously I'm a legend, an icon.
Yeah.
Thank you for saying that. I would love if people bought tickets. So that's that.
We'll be there. We'll be there.
Fantastic.
What about you, Jay? Anything to say?
Not much. Just look after yourselves and stay safe and
Don't be robbed.
just find out where a girl's from and tell you like the food from there.
Works
Works every time.
Where's like 6 out of 10 times?
Yeah.
Which is a good rate considering.
To be fair, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you're funny in fairness, so
Yeah.
Yeah, I get away with it.
yeah.
Good guy. I'm a good guy.
You're a good
All right, people. Thank you so much for listening, and thank you for being here
Thanks for having us, bud.
as usual.
Sorry for being
Dilly.
late.
Oh, you're
I
grand.
was super late. I'm so
Tell sorry to Adam, not to me.
Adam, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I'm a piece of shit.
It's all grand.
Adam
It's
was
all
meant to
grand.
go pick up his kids at 3 o'clock and you never made enough.
But you know what? We were all left behind by our father at some point, so I think we'll be all right.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? We turned out okay. They'll turn out okay.
All right. Thank you so much.